Okay, here we are back again with more Mass Effect 2, and we have some more galaxy to explore, I believe, so why don't we get to it? I actually have some stuff here to go to. Let's go this way. Go to Micah. This is the furthest out, right? What's in here? Probably not much. Duma. Home to 51 moons, including the prebiotic moon Anafiel, Duma is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with violent surface winds exceeding 1900 kilometers per hour. Like its sister planet Elohi, it is believed to be an extrasolar capture. Okay, cool beans. Let's do this one. There's actually a lot here. Surprising. Elohi. A small hydrogen-helium gas giant formed around a metallic hydrogen core, Elohi will be the site of a rare astronomical event later this year. The comet Asaro will come in on its orbit of 70 galactic standard years and travel so close to the giant that it is predicted to be captured as a moon. Dozens of space probes from around the galaxy have been launched into the Raheel system to record this moment. Elohi is within the frost line of its parent star, where gas giants do not normally form. For this reason, it is believed to be an extrasolar capture. Travel advisory. A statistically significant number of distress signals have come from the 1 million kilometer mark around Elohi. Pirates are believed to be working the area. In-person tourism is not advised. Okay, thanks for that heads up. Okay, so we definitely have some more stuff here. Let's see, I think there's one here. Yep. Farlas. One of a trio of asteroids formed around an element 0 core. Farlas is the easiest to mine for low-yield Eezo. A carbonaceous asteroid, Farlas has a trace of water-bearing minerals and organic carbon in the form of kerogen. Currently, the asteroid is surrounded by quarry and mining ships extracting fuel for the flotilla. Well, I'm gonna scan you anyway and steal your stuff. Okay, I think there's another one right here. Israfil. Largest of the Eezo trio, Israfil is a silicate-heavy carbonaceous asteroid. It is home to approximately 40 species of microorganisms in its liquid water, and was blamed as the source of the prion-based biowarfare agent EHE, exotic humanoid encephalopathy, used by the terrorist group Totenkopf in their attack on Gagarin Station in 2184. While many in the scientific community protested that Israfil did not have sufficient atmosphere or evolutionary history to sustain life at the prion level, the asteroid and its Eezo miners were nevertheless quarantined to reassure the public that the Systems Alliance was taking action. Though no evidence has yet been found that EHE originated from Israfil or was even synthesized in a local lab, the SSV Manila and a team of epidemiologists maintain watch over the asteroid's ship traffic for now. Okay, well, that's cool. I'm still gonna scan you. It's funny because the Eezo trio isn't actually all that great for finding Eezo. They're pretty good for other stuff, but not really that great for Eezo. Like, there's better places to get Eezo. It's here. Here it is. Kakabel. The second asteroid in the system formed around an element 0 core. Kakabel is another carbonaceous asteroid, with a surface made of hydrated minerals such as carbonates and clays. Beneath its icy surface is liquid water with some amino acids. The surface of Kakabel is pitted and scarred with strip mining stations where the Quarians took as much Eezo as possible before moving on. Guess that's what they did. They've already been stripped of their Eezo, probably. Alright, now we're in the Paz system, and I guess there's just one thing here, probably? Garvig. In 354 CE, Garvig was considered a bargain world, given to the Krogan to placate them because no one else wanted to live on such a frozen rock. Technically a life-bearing world, Garvig had a small farm belt around its equator and well-insulated marine life in its seas. By the turn of the century, the Krogan had completely adapted, breeding hundreds of younglings per family in vast underground bunkers. By the turn of the next century, Garvig's narrow strips of coral reef had been destroyed by overfishing and pollutants, and excess Krogan took to the stars to find another planet to consume. Garvig was treated as an object lesson by the Citadel Council. The Krogan could not be trusted to check their own numbers. Today, Garvig is a frozen wasteland, home to corporate eco-engineering efforts trying to implement sustainable agri- and aquaculture practices. Krogan and Vorchik pacts are a constant threat, and the corporations pay mercenaries well to keep their operations safe. Okay, here we are in the Faya system in the Ismar frontier. This is where we did Zaid's loyalty mission on Zoria. We're going to finish up this system here, I think. Imine is a small, cratered rock. Its crust contains various light metals, though none in any concentration worth the trouble of mining. While the rest of the Faya system has seen extensive industrialization, Maine lies fallow. I like it how when the planet descriptions are like, oh, there's nothing here, there's nothing worth bothering about here, and then you scan it and it's like, it's rich. Okay. This is Viantel. Though a dwarf planet, Viantel's large amounts of water have led to heavy development by water-cracking industries, seeking to turn the planet into hydrogen-oxygen fuel for starship thrusters. The surface is blanketed with habitation modules, mining equipment, and cracking stations. Since the initial settlement of Ilium in the nearby Tissail system, the radius of Viantel has decreased by 2 kilometers, indicating removal of over 72,000 cubic kilometers of ice. Some groups are concerned that the rate of loss may cause instability in the remaining structure. And this guy. Hito. While the ice mines of Viantel make a great deal of profit from ships passing through Faya's mass relay, the real money is made at Hito. As the only gas giant in the Faya Gateway system, Hito is heavily developed by rival Helium-3 mining concerns. The world has 3 major and 26 minor moons, each of which is claimed by a different company. Those based on moons deeper into the gravity well tend to specialize on helium-3 extraction and refining, while those on the further moons specialize in refueling services and shipment. The local economy is driven by black marketeering, backroom deals, and cutthroat business. Each company attempts to sabotage its rivals' facilities while protecting their own moon. This has led to open corporate warfare 3 times in the last century. All the major mercenary groups have offices in the Hito planetary system, though the Blue Suns enjoy a home team advantage, shipping in cheap logistical supplies from Zoria. Interesting. And that is the Faya system. And now we're in the Aquila system. Looking at this greeny bluey thing. Polino. A relatively small hydrogen-helium gas giant, Polino remains undeveloped while its sister planet Metaponto garners all the attention. This was not always the case. In 2180, news stories seeded throughout the extranet claimed that Element Zero was being found on Polino's moons in record loads. This turned out to be a scam spread by the Dunawarakam Consortium, an Elcor corporation trying to scare up investors. After a small fleet of space probes scouted the area, the hype quickly deflated, and the myth only persists now in unwanted extranet email messages. Like those chain emails that you get that's like, send this to 5 people in the next hour and you'll have a financial I don't know. I don't even know. Regardless, we're gonna move on. What's this guy? Metaponto. A hydrogen-helium gas giant, Metaponto has developed a helium-3 fueling station, funded by Elcor business interests who hope to bring enough attention to the system to attract terraforming investors and thus eventually develop Volturno as a habitable world. Thus far, they have met with little success. Too bad. Elcor deserve more worlds, you know? I'd help the Elcor out if I could. Let's get this guy. Volturno. A so-called super-Earth, Volturno is home to organic life, but is nevertheless uninhabitable for the near future. Currently in an ice age, most of the planet from the latitude of 30 degrees north or south is a frozen wasteland, and so most organic life, limited to algae and lichens, resides near the equator. The strong gravity prevents any sapient species but Elcor from thriving on the planet, and the Elcor cannot breathe the planet's atmosphere, which contains lethal amounts of carbon dioxide in addition to its oxygen. Small packs of Vorcha squatters are attempting to take the planet for themselves illegally, but most of them live miserable existences in the planet's crushing gravity and die from falls and medical complications. Only terraforming on a massive scale would turn Volturno into a habitable world, and the Elcor lack the political capital with the Citadel Council to begin such an effort. That sucks. Alright. What's this? Lapini. A hydrogen-methane gas giant, Lapini and its moons have been cursorily scanned by space probes and found to have little in the way of rare resources. The galaxy at large considers it unremarkable. And it is also poor, so we'll not bother with it. And I think just one more. Vecchio. Vecchio is a moderately sized terrestrial world with a thin, hot atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Initial surveys found trace amounts of iridium, but little else of interest in the silicate desert sands that cover much of the surface of the planet. On a recent tour, the Alliance surveyor ship Coop discovered a group of partial graves hidden in the equatorial mountain ranges. The ancient skeletons in the burial sites are obviously humanoid, but incomplete and poorly preserved, which has made them difficult to identify. Fragments of primitive ceramic grave goods were also found nearby. This raises further questions about who once traveled to this inhospitable planet, since the closest garden world, Volturno, has no intelligent life. Human universities are planning further archaeological investigations. That's really interesting. I wish we knew more about that. We are now in Lucerne, in the Crescent Nebula system. Have I done Tarath? Yeah, this is the chlorine one. This is the chlorine planet. Yeah. I don't know why it's still marked on my scanner, but whatever. Let's continue with this then. Dorier. Dorier is a large, hot world with a poisonous atmosphere of acidic nitrogen oxides. While the planet is too close to Lucerne for this to condense and fall as rain, this makes the environment too hostile for forms of life more sophisticated than bacteria to evolve. Untanta, I guess. Untanta is remarkably close to Earth. Its orbital distance is similar, and while slightly larger, its reduced density yields similar mass, atmospheric pressure, and gravity. There, the similarities end, for Lucerne is a hot Class F star, emitting over 8 times the energy of Sol. Untanta is a parched wasteland, its water long since boiled away into its nitrogen-carbon dioxide atmosphere. A handful of mining outposts dot the hellishly hot surface. The crews remain in underground bunkers, sending remotely controlled machines out at night to do surface work and load cargo for shipment. And this guy. Jontan. Jontan is a fairly standard close-orbiting Pegacid gas giant, orbiting the star Lucerne at high velocity and heated to temperatures of over 1,000 degrees. Analysis of its orbit has revealed a core of heavy elements with a mass double that of the planet's hydrogen-helium atmosphere. It's actually a good planet? Crazy. Alright. Here we are in Zelene, in the Crescent Nebula. Nepima. Tidally locked to the star Zelene, Nepima has the expected hot pole and cold pole. Along the terminator is a thin band of nearly habitable terrain. Unfortunately, the local biosphere is based on a chlorinated oxygen atmosphere. It is not sophisticated, but it has proven highly dangerous. The Asari surveyor Viralis landed on Nepima in 1684 to study the local ecology. Unbeknownst to the crew, a handful of native chlorine-fixing microbes passed through biohazard screening and entered the ship. The Viralis returned to the port of Nos Parnalo on Ilium, where the Nepiman microbes escaped into a temperate environment with plentiful unused chlorine. The microbes devoured the chlorides in the earth. As metabolic byproducts, they produce toxic polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs. By the time the infestation was contained, an area of nearly 30 square kilometers had been effectively turned into a toxic waste dump. Nos Parnalo had to be abandoned, accelerating the development of Nos Astra.
I have detected an anomaly.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do that next time. In fact, we are at about time, so I think we'll probably leave it here. I was kind of hoping to get the rest of the galaxy exploration done in one episode, but I also don't want to have an overly long episode, because my internet is kind of crap for uploading videos, so if it's, I don't want to do any super long ones. So yeah, we'll do some more galaxy exploration next time. Hopefully finish up most of it, except for just a couple of systems where some more plot missions are. We'll finish those up as we do them. So yeah, as always, if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later!